situation you're in right now, you've talked about the organizational depth of this club and how important it is, given where that depth is right now. Right now, it's going to come in handy, you think, to get at the start of the season, maybe handier than it's ever come in the past.
Our depth will get tested as of right now, just based on the injuries and the guys that we're missing. But I've been impressed with our guys that are young guys, and you know, Chaput in particular, that has been part of this organization. We've had other guys that have done a really good job in training camp. And I think it gives everyone confidence, gives the coaches confidence in seeing how these guys are playing. But the tests will continue to get harder. Tonight's game will be another good test, and another game on Saturday, and then obviously hit the regular season. That's the best way to test your players and test your team. But we're taking steps in the right direction. Players are playing well. Our young guys are playing well, and they're making tough decisions for the coaches and the management.
Should we draw any conclusions about the lineup you're using tonight, as far as who's in and who's out?
No.
When you talk about Chaput, you've had him in for all but one of these preseason games, and actually that was because there were two played in one day and he couldn't play in both of them. Has that been by design? Do you want to see him playing in all these games to see if that consistency level stays the same all the way through?
It's, you know, we had a plan going into training camp as far as lineups and players playing. You have to do that as a coach, I think, just to plan, because you have to have eight veterans in, so you're trying to plan. And we don't need all of our, the NHL players playing all 8 games. So you're looking at when to give them breaks and rest, and obviously you're still trying to put out a real competitive lineup. And it wasn't by design, but I think based on how he's played, it's been one of those things where you want to keep giving him opportunities, keep giving him reps, and some of it is, you're assessing, but some of it is, giving him penalty kill reps. Is he a guy that can go out and do that? So it's I'd say a combination of a few things.
Speaking of that, would you like to have less of those penalty kill reps here tonight than you have in the last couple of games?
I would, but again, it's still something you have to work on, still something you have to practice, and the best way to do it is to do it in games. You want your team to play disciplined, and I think there are some games where you come out of it and you still question some of how you see it as compared to how the referees see it. But nonetheless, it's a penalty. You have to go out and you have to kill it. And you can practice penalty kill and power play in practice, but it's not the same intensity. And when you get out there again, we've tweaked a couple things on our penalty kill. So it's the reps that you want in these exhibition games to really, for the players to see it. Again, as coaches, we can talk about it, we can show it, and we can try to practice it, but to me the best reps are when you get live in games.
No Jenner, no Horton, no Dubin, or Johansson. How does that change your thinking here over the last couple of days now with Jenner?
To be honest with you, it hasn't changed anything. I approach it the same way every day. I coach the guys that you have, that are here, that are healthy, and hasn't changed anything. Again, one of the great things about this camp and pleasant surprises has been the depth up the middle of our ice. And we had Boone there, and I know he's hurt, but he showed that he can play there. And you got Chaput. Obviously Mark is a guy that you trust. Wenberg's come in and done a good job. So we got some young players and some veteran players that you're able to move around.
Does it help to look around the division and there really isn't any team that isn't facing some significant injury? On day one, you're not really starting behind the 8 ball. You're kind of where everyone else is.
I'm not worried about what other teams are doing, what other teams have or don't have. It's all about us.
Knowing that you have the depth right now with all the young guys, and you said they're making your decisions tough, which is a good thing. But knowing you have the depth, does that give you some confidence going into the season, knowing you can plug guys in and they're going to fit right in as far as the systems work and fitting in with the teammates?
Yeah, and even the guys that have been reassigned already, I thought they've done a good job too. I would have no hesitation if any of those guys got recalled. We had a competitive camp, a good camp, and I think a lot of players, have come in and done a really good job, and have left here, at least the impressions with the coaches and the management are real positive.
Is Ryan Murray on track to play maybe Saturday?
That's still something that's yet to be determined.
Would you, if he doesn't play in an exhibition game, could he play in the opener? Is that a
Oh,
possibility?
yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I'm not worried about him not playing an exhibition game and then saying, well, he hasn't played a game. There's going to come some point where we're just going to have to throw him in. And I'm completely confident with that because how he played last year and just watching this young kid play and develop and grow.